Sarah. I'm taking you through the 0601 casting and moulding XOXkit. So everything I've got here is everything that will be included or is included in your kit. The only other extra things you need are a ruler, scissors, and some water. So the priority thing in this kit is safety. When you're working with the Pinkersil and with the plaster, you need to be working in a ventilated area. You also need to be wearing the face mask that we provided, because if you inhale that plaster of Paris, it's not going to sit very well. All the safety information is included in the inside cover of your box. So if you ingest it or get it in your eyes, or maybe just want to be super safe, please read that first before you work with the plaster of Paris or the Pinkersil, which are in both of the projects. I'm not going to wear it today. We're very well ventilated here and you're not going to be able to hear me if I'm wearing it, but you wear it. So the first part of this project is making the Pinkersil mould so that we can cast it with the plaster of Paris. So we're going to start with your clay. Yes, you've all received weird colours of clay, but it doesn't matter what colour it is. So what you want to do is you want to work your clay so that it becomes soft and easy to use. So it will take a little while to work in. Make sure you get all the plastic out. So what we're going to do with this modelling clay, it's not air dry clay, so don't worry about it drying out when you're not playing with it. We're just using this as a model to build our mould around. The Pinkersil mould actually picks up everything. So if you have a fingerprint on your model, it will pick it up, and then all the plaster casts that you make after that will have your fingerprint in them. Maybe you want to add that, maybe you don't. So what you want to do is warm it up and make it so that it's easy to use. It's up to you what shape you want to cast or mould. I've just gone with a geometric shape because it's probably the easiest one to do, but if you want to make anything really, go crazy. So what you're going to do is roll it into a ball, and you're going to use your straw to put a hole through the middle. Just twist your straw so it goes through. You want to make this hole reasonably big so that you can get the string through it eventually, and so you can get the Pinkersil through it as well. You need to put it in, pull it out a couple times. But you don't want to make your hole so big that your small beads go through it. These beads are going to stop it from falling out of the string. So don't make it too big. Keep going, keep going. If it fills up, you might need to cut the end off. Go again. Go. Done. So once you've got that hole made, you take your cutting knife and we're going to turn it into a geometric shape. Just be careful with your knife. Make sure it's tight on. Your blade's not going to come out. You've also got a pack of spare blades if you need them, but I very much doubt you're going to need more than one blade for this. So the first cut you want to do is you want to make sure that the hole, it's flat, because it's going to sit at the bottom of your mould. So let's cut the end of this off. Done that quite messy. You want to try and keep yours as neat as possible. I'm rushing through this a little bit though. And then you just want to go around and cut some sharp sides off it so it looks like a very cool geometric shape. Again, do it a lot more neatly than I'm doing it. Take a bit more time with it. You'll end up taking about 1/3 of the clay off. That's fine. That's what we want. We need to make sure that this shape sits in our mold cup and leaves at least 1 centimetre around it for the Pinkersil to go. This will do for the moment. That's very badly done, so make yours a lot neater than I have. So you've got your flat side, or you've got your straw hole. You might need to put your straw through it again to make sure that hole is still fully opened. Again, if you're having trouble getting the straw through, just cut the end off and try again. Okay, so that's good. So you were provided a lot of cups. You've got 2 cups that are mixing cups. One of them is for your plaster and water. One is for your Pinkersil. You've got a smaller cup, that's for mixing your water in. We've put the measurements on it. And you've got your plaster cup, which is for filling your plaster, which we've also put the measurements on it. You've also got a small, like a miniature looking Chinese container. This is going to be for making your mold. So you're going to put flat side down with the hole down on the bottom. Make sure that you've got at least 1 centimetre around the outside and on top to put the Pinkersil. So grab one of your mixing cups. Again, put your mask on because you're using Pinkersil. And you're going to pour everything that we've provided you, pour it into this cup. Oops, a bit neater than I've done it. So the working time for Pinkersil is 6 minutes. That means that as soon as it hits each other, it's going to start setting. So you've got 6 minutes to mix it and get it into your mold before it sets. So that gives you about 2 to 3 minutes to mix this into a nice pink consistency. The mixing ratio for these is equal amounts. Yeah. So you've got a couple of paddle pop sticks, use one of them. You want a really nice, consistent, smooth looking pink. Good thing about having clear plastic cups is you can see how well you've mixed it from the outside. That's reasonably good. I probably mixed it a bit too quickly there because there's quite a few air bubbles in it, but that's okay. So what you're going to do now is pour it over your modelling clay into the miniature tub. What you want to do is pour it really slowly and let it run its way over. The priority in this is getting as much as you can into that hole. And what happens is air bubbles get stuck in there, so use your knife to help get the air bubbles out so that the Pinkersil gets right in there. If you forget about this and you don't get that Pinkersil right in the hole of your model, means that when you cast the plaster, it's not going to have a hole in the middle for you to make it into a garland. So this is the priority, getting the Pinkersil right into this hole. There you go, I think it's filled up nicely without any air holes. Make sure that you put your modelling clay in first rather than pouring the Pinkersil and shoving your model in there, because what will happen is it'll get a lot of air bubbles in it. If you get an air bubble into your mould, it means everything you cast is going to have weird air bubbles all through it. So you want to fill this container to the top. There you go, you can throw that straight in the rubbish. So you'll need to put this aside to dry. It takes 60 minutes to completely set. Once it's set, you'll need to use your scissors and you're going to carefully cut off the outside plastic mold. And what you're going to be left with is a mold. Inside you'll have your clay model. You'll need to get quite rough with it and push your clay model out. You'll end up probably pulling your clay model out in chunks, but that's fine, we don't need that anymore. So you push it out, just being careful not to pull that middle part out, because that's the only really fragile part. And then you've got your mold ready to cast. So part 2 of this project is casting your plaster of Paris into your mold. So these measuring cups, we've got one for your plaster of Paris. It's got an arrow as to where you're meant to fill it to. This fills it up to 20 grams worth of plaster of Paris. And then you'll need to fill up your small cup with water. Again, we'll put an arrow where it needs to be filled up to, and that's 14 mils. You've got enough plaster of Paris here to make 20 of these. This will take a long time to make 20, but it'll look very impressive. We have put up a shorter, smaller casting project on the website, so jump on there if you don't have time to make 10 of these. So we're just going to pour our plaster in. Oops, I can't see where it needs to get to. There. And then water. There we go, you can see both of them are filled up to the arrows. And then you're going to use your other mixing cup to put the plaster in. And slowly put the water in. Use your second stirring stick. Again, I'm quite rough with this. You want to get a nice consistency here. So you don't want to take any longer than 1 minute to stir up your plaster of Paris, because again it will start setting as well. So you need to move pretty quickly. So nice smooth consistency. You're going to keep that stick because you'll need to use it again, and you're also going to keep this mixing cup. So you're going to pour this into your mold gently, and you want to fill it up to about 1 mil under the top. Might need to tap it a little bit to make sure it gets some air bubbles out. We'll put a little bit more in. Okay, so you're then going to leave that. So in about 2 hours, you can pop that out. You'll feel that it's quite cool once it's set. If it still feels a little bit warm, it means it's not done. If it's still got a film of water over the top, it's not done yet. So once it's cool and it's dry, you can pop that out. Just carefully pop it out because it takes about 24 hours for it to completely set. So after 24 hours, and it's completely set, you can then use your sandpaper to get back any bits you don't like on it, or you might like that finish. It's up to you. Chances are the top of it you'll need to sand back, so it'll be a little bit, you can see here it's got some dents in there. Make sure that you can see the hole all the way through. If for some reason your mold didn't turn out and you didn't get that hole all the way through, that's fine. After the plaster of Paris is set, in 24 hours after that, it's really strong. So you'll be able to use a drill and you can just fix that hole by drilling through it. So once you've sanded it down and you're happy with how it's looking, and once you've made the other 9 of them, if you're going to make them all, what you can do is then make your garland. We did include some acrylic paint and a brush. It's a nice way to finish the plaster of Paris, and it will protect it. So if you know that your garland's going to be going outside, I'd put the acrylic paint on it. If you want a really pure white finish, again, acrylic paint. Otherwise, if it's going to be an indoor garland, it should be fine to not have that finish on it. If it's not going to get wet or anything, that'll be fine. So what you can do, you've got 3 meters of string. Whoop. So to start the garland, you can tie a knot. You're then going to put a small bead, a large bead, and a small bead, and then tie another knot. I've done one here as an example. If you're having trouble getting your string through all the holes, especially the small beads, we've actually provided you with some doll making needles. So they're a bit bigger. Some of them are hooked and some are straight. So just feed your string into the needle and use the needle to feed it through the small beads, larger beads, and your plaster pieces. So that's what the ends are going to look like. Then you're going to measure 20 centimeters with your ruler, tie another knot, and then you're going to put a small ball, your plaster of Paris, and another small ball. So those small beads are holding your plaster of Paris piece in. Then you're going to measure another 20, and so on and so on and so on until you put the 10 of them on there, and then you're going to finish it off with another large bead. And that's your garland done. Again, if you don't have time to make 10 of these, which I don't think many people do, jump onto our website and look at the smaller DIY that we'll put up there using your plaster of Paris. Don't forget to tag your images of your creations with XOXkit, because we love seeing what you guys do, and have fun.